Yeah, as I was getting to in the last video, I didn't feel I had already purchased some screw-in rocker studs and guide plates for those heads because I thought that was the only thing I was going to need. So I thought I'll go ahead and get that, no big deal. But then when the valve spring thing came up, and they're 100, 200, I don't know. I haven't even looked in so long. I can't remember what the price is, but that was it. I didn't feel like spending even more money. Plus, the lifters that I have for that cam that I was going to use, I pulled them out years ago and marked them all so I'd know where they go back in. But for some reason in my mind, I keep thinking that the box got dropped or something, and I wasn't completely sure that they're still where they needed to be. And anyway, I was just nervous about the lifters, and the lifters are another $100. So I can't spend even more money on a motor that I don't even want to keep. So that's how that one went. Unboxing video, and you know what this is. Hey, they gave us some wood. Ooh, fancy. Whew, look at that. That's a thing of beauty. Never had a set of aluminum heads before. And look at there. I even got a sticker. I'm basically sponsored by AFR. Ooh. Look at that sweet goodness. Can't wait to try those out. Alright, so basically these heads are 33 pounds in total, lighter than the stock cast iron heads, so there'll be a little bit of weight savings there. So that puts my weight loss on the car up to 55 pounds this go around. And we're making some progress. Short box put together, oil pumps on, camshafts in, timing chain in place checked. All that stuff's good to go. And I got the new timing pointer on there. All the ones that I had wouldn't work with an 8-inch balancer. So I ordered a new one. 27 bucks, Jags. Wasn't that bad. Funny thing was, it showed in the picture that it came with the 2 bolts and washers, and it said in the ad that it came with the hardware, and it showed up with no bolts or washers. So I called them. I stayed on hold for an hour and 20 minutes. And then they answered and said they'd just send me a new package and I didn't have to send the old one back. So that's pretty cool. But I managed to dig out 2 bolts of my own so I can move forward and not have to wait. Well, the game plan for tomorrow is to bolt the transmission to the short block and get it set in here. And then we'll see where I get from there. Alright, today let's see if we can get this short block bolted up to the transmission and get it in the car. Maybe that'll be enough motivation to make me feel like I'm finally getting somewhere, just seeing that back in the car at least. More typical problems like I've been having. The new ARP bolts that I bought are too long, so now I'm having to waste all this time shortening them. Perfect. Okay, well, hiding under all that mess, I finally got the short block and transmission back in the car Sunday. It had started raining while I was doing it, and by the time I got it in, it was pouring down rain. So I covered it all up. Been unmotivated since, so see if I can get something done today. Oh, lost a whole day of work basically. I just keep getting stopped on these stupid simple things. Couldn't get the transmission bolted back in the car on the cross member. Ended up ruining the mount in one of the bolts, so I had to go buy another one with some bolts, and then I ended up having to drill these 2 holes out just a little bit bigger just so I can get it to line up to go in. I don't know what's going on, but it's driving me nuts.
Okay, well, finally, after I basically had to unbolt everything that had to do with motor mounts, transmission crossmember mounts, got everything completely loose, drilled the two holes in the transmission mount just a little bit bigger, and everything slid in and went back in like it should have without me having to do all that. Fun, fun.
Here's how far along we are now. Got quite a bit more to do. Alright, we're making a little more progress. Lifters in, push rods in, rocker arms on. Still got to adjust the valves. Hadn't done that yet. Let's put the intake on. I loaded this thing up when I started to tear it down to do all this, and my trunk load of parts is finally dwindling down. Oh yeah, here we go. And yeah, I can hear it now. Why didn't you put a single plane on it? Well, I got a brand new Victor Jr. that I'm going to put later on. But I've always wanted to try out a Performer RPM air gap, so that's what's going on there now. And I don't plan on turning this thing much past 6 anyway, so technically I should have more power throughout the range instead of worrying about the top end horsepower numbers. And for now, this is still an automatic car, so I need all the low end help I can get. First order of business today, the crankshaft. I need to run a tap through the end of it. The threads don't look perfect, but they don't look super bad either, but I figured I would, try to clean it up some. That was the only thing on this motor that needed attention. Well, today's fun's over with. It doesn't look like I got much done, but I got the balancer started till it got too hard to turn with my 10-inch crescent wrench, so I'm going to run to the store and get something big enough where it'll be easy enough to turn the rest of the way on. Started putting the water neck on. Need to get one new bolt. That one's kind of crappy. Got fittings in, temperature hooked up, oil pressure hooked up. Still got to go get the right fitting for the vacuum port. Wasted an hour, dropped a bolt down up in there, fell all the way down into the bottom of the spring perch, so it took me a while to find where it was and get it back out. So after waiting almost 2 weeks for my replacement to show up, this is how it shows up. Already opened. They added the bag of bolts to the package. But hey, at least I got it like it's supposed to be. So obviously they don't pack these with the bolts anymore like the ad said. So they opened it up and stuck them in there and then put this whole thing in another package. So got what I'm supposed to get finally. Well, I think we're going to end the video here. I'm at a standstill now. The threads in the crankshaft went ahead and gave up. Cleaned them out because they looked a little suspect, and apparently they were. Whatever this thing was in stock way back in the day, I guess they got messed up then, because all this stuff went to the machine shop, all those years ago when I put it together, and it hasn't been used, and I never put a bolt in there the whole time I've had this thing, so it stripped out. Yet another holdup in my line of holdups. And for those that were asking, a quick overview of the motor. 750 Holley, Performer RPM air gap, AFR 195 heads out of the box, 406, 9.5 to 1, really mild combo. Camshaft's comp cam. It's a 286 cam. It's 230, 230, 560, 560 on a 110. Nothing really special. Probably around 530 at the crankshaft. Just a mild 406. Later on, maybe I'll be able to put together something crazy, but this has got stock rod and stock crank, and I've learned in the past what happens when you push on them too much. It might be more like 9 3/4 on the compression. I don't remember. I haven't bothered trying to do the math on the head gasket I use and all that stuff. I really just don't care. It could be 10-1 for all I care. But anyway, when it comes time to build something really fast, that's probably when I'll work on that, getting that LS together. But once I get this thing going, I need to get McNugget back going again. Well, before I drill out the crankshaft, I'm going to give this a try. I got another bolt that's 1/2 inch longer, so maybe it'll grab some threads further in and I'll be alright. The biggest downfall to that motor making what I had hoped for, besides the compression not being, at least 10-1, is the ring gap was set up for a blower, which was what I was going to do with that short block back then. So might not make quite as much as I hope, but we'll see. It's what I got, so it's what I'm going to use. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Thanks for the likes. Thanks for the comments. We'll see you in the next video.